Aren't those adorable? Thing about them is they look way harder than they actually are. Yes, they're hand painted, but let me show you how to do it easy. Okay, I find the best combination is a stronger color underneath with the white snowflakes on top. That contrast really helps make the snowflakes stand out. So if you're picking a lighter color, like in this blue one that I had here, this is a lighter color, but you can see that it doesn't have a lot of shimmer. Shimmer or frost is harder to see the snowflakes. So I find a contrasting color or even a matte over top of a shiny color might work. So I'm gonna put 2 coats of my new collection of gel polish called Mrs. Santa's Slippers. With my little mini nuke, it's 60-second cure. Then I'm going to do a second coat just to get the depth of the color. I always like, whether it's nail polish or gel polish, unless I'm looking for a real nudish kind of color, I always put 2 coats on just to get the true intention of that color the way it was meant. This is part of my collection, but you can buy all my gel polishes individually. Okay, just let it settle for a sec. Beautiful. So we'll give that another 60-second cure. Can you guys notice? I am all ready for Christmas. I love Christmas. It's so pretty, especially when it snows. We don't get a whole lot of snow around here on the island, do we, Caraman?
No, we don't.
Well, I'm from somewhere where we don't have a lot of snow, but you're from a lot of snow, so he doesn't really like it. You like it for a day or two, but after that, it's just an annoyance. I'm from an island. We're the warmest part in Canada, and we hardly get any, but when we do, it's just magic. I love it. So I'm going to top coat this. So why am I top coating before I actually do the design? This is the trick. You definitely want to top coat your color, and we're going to put the design on top, and you'll see why. Sometimes I'll hold my top coat upside down for a little bit just to let it settle and get kind of smooth before I give it a good nuke, especially if I am painting something on top of it that I'm going to be doing lines, right? So I want it to be smooth. This is where the fun part starts. Okay, so for the snowflake design, I like to look at real things like a real snowflake, but you can't emulate that on it. I'm not that kind of artist. I'm not that good. So you want to get just like a rendition of a snowflake. Now, snowflake is supposed to be identical on all the sides, right? So I look at it this way. You want to line up those lines first. So you're looking at like a T. You want to draw that T first, and then an X on top of the T. Those will give you all the little points that you need to decorate. So if you start there, that'll help you a lot. So I'm going to take some white, it's called my opposite to black, or whatever color you're working with, put a little dab right on your working surface. I'm going to need some really tiny, skinny, liney brushes that you like. So these 2 are going to be my favorite for this particular. Oh, and I need a dotting tool, which is in here. We'll get to that. Okay, so I'm going to paint the X and the T on first. Now you can see I did these ones quite giant. I was really looking for that real strong impact. And it's a bit 3D, and you'll see why. But when I painted these on, you can see they're all individual because apparently no snowflake is identical. That's true still, right?
I don't know if that's true or not, but
that's what we grew up with.
Snowflakes are never identical.
Never identical, right?
Right.
So there's an element to art here. So to have that natural look is totally, totally fine. You don't have to think of it as I can't hand paint these. Give it a try. It's easy to erase. You've got the top coat on now, so it's really easy to erase. So you can see these ones I actually did this morning. I didn't meant to show them. It was just my practice ones, but they turned out really good. I really like this one. I hated it when I first did it, but I actually really like this one now. And this one I kind of messed up in the center. Look, it's not even at all, but it still looks good. So these ones here, I was just winging it and having a little fun and going with it, but I might even think I like maybe these ones better. And the one that I didn't like at all, I really quite like it. So I'm going to start with the T and then the X and see what we come up with on this one. And don't forget, every time you make an error, it's okay. We can erase it. All you need is a little bit of alcohol and a brush. And boom, it's gone. Now we're not going to nuke as we go. We want this to be completely fresh gel polish for the next step, which gives it that kind of 3D effect. Oh, and that's what I was getting to too. See, this one is sort of off to the side. This one I did right in the center. This one I did off to the side. That one's really quite unique. I kind of like that one too. And then the pinky, I went totally different and I did it off to this side toward here. So again, you can go much tinier and make sure the whole snowflake is on there, or you can just do a chunk of it. I decided to go really chunky. I'm going to just find a focal point, like right in the very center of the nail. I think it's right about there. I'm just going to go with that. And I'm going to draw out the T. Right down. Then I'm going to draw my line this way. You can see it's not perfect, right? And then I'm going to draw the other side of my T. And then I'm going to do this side. Okay, that's my T. Then I'm going to take, remember the X? Wait, there's the T now. So we want to put the X inside that T. So another way of looking at it is to take this section here. See this section, this line to this line, goes completely down the center, just like you're cutting pizza. Take the center and go completely in the middle. And you can see that's not completely. That's good enough. I'm going to let it go just to show you can get away with some mistakes. Let's hope we can. And then I'm going to do this quarter here, and I'm going to split this quarter in half. And then I'm going to do that all the way around. It is easier than just drawing an X that way when you take it from the center out. Now I'm going to go completely, try to center that. It wasn't very thick. Now that's even like a star. You could leave that as a star if that's what you were going for. Now I did like that one. I'm just going to examine this one and see what I liked about it. It's sort of lines and then dots, and then I pulled the dots. I'm going to try to emulate this one again. And sometimes even if you're trying to copy it, it doesn't always work. I do that all the time. It's like, oh, I love that. And then I try to redo it. I mean, it's art, so you can't do it the same all the time. Okay, now I'm going to switch my little art brush here to like a finer, shorter one. I don't need those long lines anymore. I'm going to be doing shorter little ones. But before I do that, I'm going to get me dotting tool. I'm going to go for like the medium-sized dotting tool. Yeah, and I'm just going to take my dot. Now you don't have to put a dot on every one, but whatever you do, mirror that side. So like if you're putting it on the T, put it on all points of the T. If you're putting it on the X, put it on all points of the X. So I'm going to put it on the T, but I'm going to do the same size on the T. Okay, so I'm going to put this down for a second. I don't want to get it interfered. I'm going to get a smaller dotting tool for the X. I just want a little different size. Okay, so I'm going to do the smaller one on all the X points. Okay, now I'm going to take that little one I talked about, and I'm going to get some gel polish on there. Just on top of each dot, I'm going to pull the center and just pull it up a little bit. See that? Just give it like a little, just a tiny little peak there. That looks just so cute. I don't know if I have enough room to do it here, but I'll try. Remember, all you're doing is mirroring on either side. Okay, so now I'm going to take my fat dotting tool again, and I'm going to do one right here. That means I have to do one over here to mirror that, one over here, and it's just below the dot, the first dot. Then I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to get my little guy back again, my little tiny paintbrush, and I'm just going to pull. Just in an up direction, like it's like hands up. And I'm just going to pull. So everything's wet, so you don't have to worry. That's why you don't want to cure it. Don't cure it. And just pull. Okay, I did all those guys. Yep. That looks good. I'm going to do this. See the very center? I'm going to dot the center again to get a little bit more gel in there. And I'm going to pull out the center as well. Okay, and I think I'm going to pull down too, because that's what I liked about this design. It's sort of like starbursts a little bit. I like that. So I'm going to pull this one down. That means I have to pull the other side down. And I'm going to do that to this one too. That one sort of lost its shape a little. I think I pulled too hard on that one. And I'm going to do this one. This one. These ones are shorter because I don't have that wide a nail. There, that's looking pretty cute. It's different. It's a little bit liney, and I don't know if I like it so liney, so I think I want to soften it up a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is add a bunch of little dots. Let's do some little dots right here. There, that kind of softens it up a little bit. I like that. So what I'm going to do though is pull those into the stem. Pull, pull, pull. See that? I'm just pulling it into it. It's a very small move. Okay, yeah, that's looking good. I'm going to see if there's a tinier one in here. Yes, there is. This one's super tiny. I'm just going to dot it up a little. Put dot there, there, and I might even put a small dot at the end of some of these. Yeah, that worked actually. That's quite cute. Oh, I'm missing one. If you get lost, remember, just try to mirror what's happening on the other side. Cute, I like that. And I think I'm going to add, just on this big one, little dots right there. I mean, if no two snowflakes are the same, maybe there's one out there that looks like this. Well, that's cute.
I think it looks great.
It does look really cute, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you get something you like, you need some white acrylic powder. Dipping powder would do the same. And I wouldn't dip it because I'm not a big fan of dip anyway, but I wouldn't dip it because it could ruin the design. It's very delicately placed. You don't want to push one of those out of the way. And just to be clear, you don't have to do this. You could just nuke this right now and leave it. But you want to pour it on there gently. Just make sure you pour everywhere. Because this is wet gel polish. This is uncured gel polish, right? And that's why we top coated it. No dispersion layer. And if there is, you better remove it. And now I'm just going to cure it for 60 seconds. Okay, then I'm going to dust off the powder. If you're using a powder, you can use a little sparkle in there too if you want. You can even just use it with glitter. This is what gives it that 3D look. Oh, so cute. Look how cute that, and it's such a pop, right? It's such a real dramatic pop on the nails. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of oil on it. This is my new oil. It's called, this is what Santa's Workshop smells like. I'm not going to tell you what it smells like. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of cuticle oil on there. And if you do find there's a bit of dust and stuff around there, take a lint-free pad, get a little bit of alcohol, and just do this little trick. All you're doing is just putting some alcohol to just clean up any powder residue in between your snowflake and the red or whatever color you use below, just to give it that little extra shine. Massage that cuticle oil in. Okay, let's take a look at all of the nails together. So you can see it can be rather imperfect and it still looks quite adorable because we do know it's hand painted. And if you're a nail tech, sometimes the client just wants it for maybe an accent, or you can do all of them, whatever you like. Let me know what different colors you use. Adorable. Imperfectly adorable. And I want to thank everyone who's purchased my new gel polish collections that I've been putting out. I'm having so much fun creating them. This is the latest one. This is called Suzie's Trendy Christmas. The collection comes with Cool Christmas, Frost Me, Christmas ornaments, Mrs. Santa's slippers, my favorite Christmas blanket, and Trendy Christmas tree. You can also buy them individually. Another adorable, easy design to do is the Santa Christmas hats. Check this video out.